Ahankara, the egoic identity and the illusion of separation. Within the rich tapestry of the mind, Ahankara holds a prominent place as the egoic identity that shapes our sense of self and influences our interactions with the world. In the realms of Yoga, Tantra and Ayurveda, Ahankara is considered a crucial component of the mind, but one that can lead to delusion and suffering if not understood and transcended. Exploring the nature, functions, qualities and impact of Ahankara offers profound insights into the illusory nature of the ego and the path towards liberation and self-realization. Ahankara can be understood as the sense of individuality and self-identification that arises from the interplay of the mind and the external world. It functions as the ego, constructing a narrative of I and mine that defines our personal identity. Ahankara influences our thoughts, emotions, desires and actions, as it creates a framework through which we perceive ourselves as separate entities from others and the world. Ahankara contributes to the illusion of separation, fostering a sense of individuality and uniqueness that can lead to a fragmented perception of reality. It creates boundaries and divisions, emphasizing differences rather than interconnectedness. This illusion of separation can give rise to attachment, desire, and the pursuit of personal gain, perpetuating suffering and preventing us from realizing our true nature as interconnected beings. Ahankara is primarily associated with the conscious aspect of the mind. It represents the egoic identity and the sense of individuality that arises in our conscious awareness. It is the part of the mind that we can directly experience and observe. Ahankara possesses several qualities that shape its nature and functioning within the mind. Individuality. Ahankara gives rise to a sense of individuality, creating the perception of separative self with distinct characteristics, desires, and experiences. It shapes our self-image and influences our interactions with others as we strive to maintain and protect our individual identities. Attachment and identification. Ahankara fosters attachment and identification with our thoughts, emotions, beliefs, possessions, and roles. It leads to a clinging to personal narratives and resistance to change as we seek validation and security through external means. Egoic desires. Ahankara generates desires rooted in self-gratification and the pursuit of personal gain. It fuels the craving for recognition, power, material possessions, and the accumulation of experiences that validate our sense of self. These desires can lead to suffering when they are driven by the ego's insatiable need for validation and external approval. Sense of agency. Ahankara instills a sense of agency, making us feel like the doers and controllers of our actions and experiences. It creates a perception of personal will and individual power, reinforcing the belief in our separateness from the web of life. Transcending Ahankara is a fundamental aspect of spiritual growth and self-realization. It involves recognizing the illusory nature of the ego and cultivating a deeper understanding of our interconnectedness with all beings in the universe. Here are some approaches to transcend Ahankara. Self-inquiry and self-reflection. Engaging in self-inquiry and self-reflection allows us to question the authenticity of egoic identity and explore the underlying motivations and conditioning that shape our sense of self. Through introspection, we can gain insights into the transient nature of the ego and the interconnectedness of all existence. Cultivating witness consciousness. Developing the ability to observe our thoughts, emotions, and actions without identification or judgment cultivates a state of witness consciousness. By distancing ourselves from the constant fluctuations of Ahankara, we can gain clarity and insight into the illusory nature of the ego and its impact on our experiences. Practicing surrender and non-attachment. Surrendering the egoic need for control and non-attachment to the outcomes of our actions liberates us from the limitations of Ahankara. By relinquishing the illusion of personal doership, we open ourselves to the flow of life and align with the greater intelligence of the universe. Cultivating compassion and interconnectedness. Embracing compassion and recognizing the interconnectedness of all beings dissolve the barriers created by Ahankara. By nurturing a sense of unity and empathy, we shift our focus from self-centeredness to a broader perspective that encompasses the well-being of all. The ego mediates between the outer and inner worlds and is a point of interchange between them. It allows us to acquire and achieve things in the outer world and can give a certain control of the emotions. By its point, like nature, it tends to always have a narrow focus or bias, in which it becomes the center or most important factor in the world. For this reason, all human beings have a sense of pride, and we like to think that we are identified with, like our religion, our country, our race, our class, our family, or even our form of medicine is the best. This process of pride, however, causes us to look down on others and creates conflict among human beings. The ego then operates through emotions to acquire sensations in the outer world that allow it to expand and feel good about itself. Yet it is inherently limited and productive of separation and, through it, unhappiness. On the positive side, the ego allows for greater focus of the mind. It helps consciousness differentiate itself from the external nature. But it is not the final goal of nature's evolution, nor does it represent who we really are. Nor is it a functioning of intelligence. It is a transitional phase between an outward-directed mind, manas, under the control of the forces of the external nature, and an inward-directed mind in harmony with the deeper principles and powers of life.